everybody, and welcome back to the Blu Ray Hunter. I'm the Blu Ray Hunter, Jonathan Moody, and we have another Blu Ray Hunter reviews for you. I'm really excited. I was not sure about this movie when I bought it, and I bought it for cheap. So I was just really excited to check it out. I think it was on there while supplies last for Kino Lorber, and that is this film, Unstrung Heroes, which is a 1995. That was 96, but it's 95 film. Uh, and it's got some names. It's got like John Turturro. It's got Andy McDowell, Michael Richards, Maury Chaykin. I mean, it's got some names, and also it's got faces that have been in other things, so um people that you would recognize if you see them, but you wouldn't know them, I don't think, by name. And so anyway, kind of go into the story. It's about this Jewish kid who is his father is an atheistic scientist guy who believes everything should be examined, everything should be documented and stuff. And he's working with his son to try to get him to be like the president of his class and stuff, and things just don't go out that way. And meanwhile, his mother, played by Andy McDowell, is getting sick. And the sicker that she gets, the more chaos it ensues and stuff. And in the household. And so spoiler alerts, by the way, if you haven't seen the movie, I'd recommend seeing it definitely before listening to this review. So anyway, the son goes to live with his two uncles, and they're both sort of crazy in a way. Like he doesn't just go to live with them, like his parents don't want him to. He just feels like the son feels like he's not he's becoming more of a nuisance at home than he is, and he's kind of getting yelled at all the time. His dad's all stressed out, and he thinks that by going to live with his uncles, things will be a lot less stressful and whatnot. And got to hear that it was interesting because Andy McDowell was actually pregnant, and I found this out through the interview that she did, but she was actually pregnant throughout it. So I did not know that before I watched it. I think next time I watch it, I'll probably look out for that. Um, when biggest thing was would I recommend this movie, and I'm gonna go into some things that you know I definitely would recommend seeing it. Because it's definitely a capsule in time of things, because like it's about I believe it takes place in like the 1940s. It doesn't necessarily feel that way. Like it feels timely enough where it's not all about, like, they don't have specific phrases or whatever that made me feel like, oh, this is the 1940s. This It felt like this could be 1980s and whatnot. So basically, Andy McDowell gets sick, and the father hires a maid who are housekeeper, somebody to take care of the house while and take care of the kids, feed the kids and stuff. And the son and the daughter, and there's a little daughter in it. They both don't like the housekeeper because they think she's stealing, which she's stealing quarters, which back in 1940s was a big deal, I guess. Nowadays it probably wouldn't be even like thought of as stealing. Um, and so they basically did not like this lady, and she ends up actually telling them out of like anger, of the like frustration with them, that that their mom's dying, and they didn't know that. The father had not told them that yet. And so when the father gets really upset, there's this great scene where they knew their father was going to be upset, that they basically locked this housekeeper lady in a basement and whatnot. And when the father finds out and lets her out, she quits, and he gets really upset and kind of tries to barge in their room, but they like locked it up or whatever, and he gets through, and he talks to them, and they were like, well, she lied to us. She said that mommy is dying, And it was one of the most sort of sad scenes because she, as an adult, like she was not lying at that time. She just didn't know they didn't know. And when she kind of told them that, I mean, that really pissed them off, but because they thought she was lying. But I think a bit of it knew like something was wrong, so maybe she was telling the truth. So when they asked him, he, they finally got the answer. And so the father gets really anxious and is yelling at everybody all the time and whatnot. So I said like the kid wanted to go stay with his uncles, and his uncles are just these crazy guys. Maury Chaykin and Michael Richards. Michael Richards is most known for Kramer, and he does a very non-Kramer kind of thing. Like he might have a little bit of Kramer in it, but not really. Like he is this paranoid guy, or whatever. He's paranoid. When we first meet him, he comes to the house and he like thinks that he's being followed and all this stuff. Like he thinks that somebody's out to get him. And Maury Chaykin is mainly a I don't know, not just a hoarder, but he just likes to find things and give them to people. So like he finds like a some kind of like leaf or something and gives it gives it to John Turturro. John Turturro's like, I don't know why you want to give me this, but whatever, like kind of thing. So the kid just takes off and goes to ask his uncles if he could stay with them. And that pisses off the parents because, it scares them. Like they don't know. And they find out he's at the house and that house, and it wasn't a good thing for him to do necessarily, but then he's able to kind of tell his parents, and his parents agree. So his parents agree to let him stay there. And him staying there was the greatest thing he starts doing. Like he helps them, stay at the house, even though the landlord guy wants the them out of there because they just put they store a bunch of junk in the house, and it's not necessarily good, but they do like tricks to get out of that thing. And then, toward the end, they start kind of teaching him about his heritage as being Jewish, and his father being very adamant about being basically, non-religious, does not like that, does not like the push of it and stuff. And they want to change his name um to like a male version of the mother's name. And the father doesn't like it because the name that you know and he explains it to the kid finally, because I don't think he ever told him that, but like the mom came up with that name and stuff. And when the mom is dying of cancer, it's just really, like that on top of everything, kind of sets him off. And just thinking about it kind of makes me cry. Because there's some really deep, sad scenes in the movie. Sort of things that are sad, and I feel like there some people won't want to watch that. Like I know my dad would not want to watch this too. It's too sad. My mom may really enjoy this, but I don't think my dad would. Um, it's funny, and it's funny a lot. Like throughout the whole movie, I was laughing, but it's got these really dramatic scenes that just sort of change the tone of the film. And I don't know whether or not I like that. I'd have to watch it again and again. It is a movie I'd watch more than once because I feel like, okay, so I'll give you an example. So Kino Lorber put this out, and Kino Lorber has put out a lot of movies that I've bought, that like Life with Mikey. I was watching that a few months ago when I bought it. I put it on the television, and I watched it, and I was like it was a feel good movie, so much so that I felt really good at home. Like I felt like comforted watching it and everything. And it's not even like it's not even like the greatest movie of all time. It's just a really good feel good movie. And so I really enjoyed that. And I feel like a lot of times we definitely don't get that these days. Everything, it feels like movies these days have to have some kind of agenda to it instead of instead of just being entertaining and fun and cute and just enjoyable. So watching these movies kind of brings me back to a place, especially in the 90s, that just had that feeling. And this could have had it, but the really, really, and this is all based on somewhat on a true story. Seeing somewhat because apparently there were more brothers. They didn't even show all the brothers that would have, I think there was like four brothers, and so two of them were not shown or one of them wasn't shown. They did keep in touch with Andy McDowell, or at least one of them did, and of the brothers and stuff. That was nice to hear. But honestly, like it was just a cute little movie. If you you know, if you get an understanding, like there are going to be scenes that are very um sad in it. And scenes that will make you, I mean, make you cry in a way and whatnot. And like he wants to learn about his heritage, so he gets bar mitzvahed and all this stuff. Like the mom couldn't make it to the bar mitzvah, I don't believe, and I don't remember exactly. I remember he did do like he instead of the Pledge of Allegiance to the flag, he ended up reciting some kind of Jewish, thing, and it that part was a little bit too like hokey for me. Like that was too like a you know, um, we have something to say and we're gonna say it kind of thing. But aside from that, I didn't mind it. It's funny because I just really enjoy these type of movies. Like I really enjoy um this film, and I want to see this more. Like I want to see more of these kind of movies come out. I miss them, and so I would suggest checking it out. I think it's still on the Wall Supplies last kind of thing for Kino Lorber, which makes it like $6 or something, $5. Well worth it. I mean, obviously you have to pay for shipping, so what I would suggest is buy a bunch of them from the wall, so you're getting you sort of your shipping, you know, worthwhile. I would suggest the movie because it's cute. What I like about doing these reviews on Blu Ray Hunter is I can pick a movie that I haven't seen or that I've been wanting to watch, just haven't had a chance, and I'm like, oh, I'll just put this on for this. If it's a horror film, I do it for horror film lovers. If it's it's a nice Blu-ray, I do it for this show. So I really suggest checking it out if you get a chance. If you don't, if it's not your cup of tea, I wouldn't be surprised, and I'd understand. But I think it was just one of those movies that I feel like you know, should be talked a little bit more or seen by people. I mean, I don't even know many people even. I remember in like 95 when it came out because I remember the trailers for it and the trailer for it, but I don't like, I guess I never, I mean, I was 95. I was a middle schooler. I probably had no interest, nor would I understand half of what was going on in this movie had I seen it then. So I definitely suggest adults watching it, and just enjoying something sort of cute and, it's got a little bit of a nice, sweet message about family and how much, family really means to everybody. And Michael Richards does such a great job. Just Maury Chaykin, oh man, those two together are just phenomenal. John Turturro is fantastic because I just sort of completely buy him the way he is. I do want to do Barton Fink, but I think I may do that for like Film Freaks at some point. So I think I'm gonna wait. Um, because I think that's a really good movie. But yeah, I think Kino Lorber, like I think God Kino Lorber's out there doing their thing because this stuff most people never would have heard of or never would have thought to even check out, and I would love for more people to check it out. So go to the Kino Lorber site and get it. But aside from that, join me next week for the was it Blu Ray Hunter reviews, where I'll be doing Jingle All the Way for Christmas. So get ready for that. All right, everybody. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Bye.